So I was fortunate that I was born in Honolulu, grew up in Yokohama, moved to California, and one day my dad came home and he said, "Jim, can we all do that?" Well, I don't know if I wanted to do that. That's what he called me when I was in big trouble. He said, "Jim, we're moving to Alaska." And I went, "Woohoo!" Here we go. Now we have my yard in the summer and this same deck in the winter. I'm not going to be able to pause the show, so I'm just going to move with it. This is what it looks like. Now that was winter during the day. This is winter time at night. But in this show, in less than an hour, I'm only going to be able to show you. Tell me what I'm going to show you. All together now. Well, what happens with Alaska is most of the information comes from misconceptions. How many of you had a map like this in your elementary school? No wonder people don't know where we are. They think that Alaska is located off the southern coast of Baja California. Can you imagine? Believe it or not, how many of you think we live in, what is this? They think we live in igloos. This myth started back in 1800 when an explorer came back from Alaska and drew this sketch. It didn't look anything like native housing. This is the closest thing that an Alaskan native will create. They'll create a wind block when they're out hunting or fishing. That's the closest thing to an igloo. This is a real Alaskan native home. It's called the Barabara. Do you see what those beams are made of? Whale bones. And this is a failed hotel. If you want to move to Alaska, it's for sale, $360,000. This is probably the closest thing that you'll see to an igloo while you're in Alaska. The Thing with Kurt Russell. Well, John Wayne was fabulous in that movie. But I like to share with people that we Alaskans, we're a fun bunch. We have a lot of fun all year long throughout the state. This is the Iceworm Festival. Doesn't that look fun? Yeah. Ooh, the Salmon Fest. Look, 3 days of fish love and music. You can go out to Dillingham for the Beaver Roundup. That's fun. Or look at the size of this king crab. They have the King Crab Festival out in Kodiak. And of course, in downtown Anchorage, we have the Fur Rendezvous. But the champion of festivals is the Talkeetna Moose Dropping Festival. Who knows what a moose dropping is? You can see here, for 37 years, they had the record for the Talkeetna Moose Dropping. You can actually get moose dropping jewelry. Why buy a diamond when you can strap a moose? We have the moose. It's a fun time of year. Everything moose, everything crazy, a lot of fun. This is a small little town. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But this is just the way most of the communities throughout the state are very, very remote. Real small. So you have to take small things and turn them into a lot of fun. Talkeetna is known for some rather interesting characters. Some of the music I'm using is Hobo Jim. He's the official state balladeer. But if you're going to be Alaskan, you got to know the official state things. Yell out the answers if you know them. What's the official state flower? Forget-me-not. How about marine mammal? Bowhead whale. How about the tree? Sitka spruce. Come on, yell them out. What's the mineral? Oh, what's the mammal? Okay, you're getting there. What's the gem? Jade. What is the insect? No, it's not the mosquito. And the bird, it's not the eagle, it's the ptarmigan. And of course the salmon is our king salmon. And the official state sport is mushing. You guys are doing pretty darn good. Maybe I better show you how to dress like an Alaskan. Are you ready? Okay, here's how you dress like an Alaskan. It's kind of complicated. Did you see anybody dressed like this in Juneau or Skagway? They were down putting on a show for you at the dock. Believe me, Now this is where it gets exciting. Who wants to see how a woman dresses in Alaska? This doesn't make me any friends. Unfortunately, it's a little too close to home here, but we're just having some fun. Well, now that I've showed you how to dress Alaskan, are you ready to learn how to speak Alaskan? We have different words for many things. Okay, this is a small little cabin that you keep your food in to keep it away from the animals. This is a spongy surface that you walk on. What is this? Yell it out. If you're not fishing with a reel, you're going. Yell it out. When you're going for a run with your dogs, you're going. All right, you guys are good. That little part of that little snow on the top of the mountain is called. It's all the jobs ended. When you're going to visit your relatives, you're going. All right, you guys got it. That time of year when everything melts and turns into a slushy mess is breakup. Now, this is not a snow. This is a snow machine. What's that part of the country we call the lower 48? Ooh, this is muktuk, that 1-inch layer of fat from the skin of a whale. Yummy. What do we call this when you're fishing with 100 people? And what is this little guy called? I talked about him yesterday. Iceberg. And you already know what these are? Not moose nuggets. This is a tide, not to be confused with a boar guide. It's a boar tide. This is a little knife that native people still use. It's an ulu. And if you've been in Alaska a long time, you're and if you have a pair of these are called bunny boots. If you're a rookie in Alaska, what do they call you? A chichaco. And only male walruses have one of these, and they're called a... Somebody came to me and said, you know, you spelled usik wrong. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to share with you some things that you may not know about Alaska. For example, a brown bear that is up in the Brooks Range will keep their cubs up to... Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to share with you some things that you may not know about Alaska. For example, a brown bear that is up in the Brooks Range will keep their cubs up to 4 to 5 years because it's a harsher climate and it takes her longer to teach her young cubs how to survive in the wilderness. You can also see here that we have over 100,000 volcanoes. Back when we had an eruption from Mount Spur in Anchorage, we had about 2 inches of ash that was deposited on our houses and our cars. And in the 1800s, Kodiak had 4 feet of ash from one of our volcanoes. Oh, you've seen a lot of these little guys flying around. My favorite bird in Alaska is the Arctic tern. It travels the furthest migratory path of any bird in the world, 25,000 miles from Antarctica to Alaska. It also mates for life. These are the peony I was showing you. We actually have a cottage industry growing these beautiful flowers in Alaska. They do not require greenhouses. They stay in the ground throughout the winter, and they keep coming back year after year. They're perennials, and they're absolutely gorgeous. We ship them all over the world. This is the Confederate ship Shenandoah. A lot of people don't realize that after the Appomattox Courthouse, the last shots of the Civil War were fired in Alaska 6 months after they'd signed an agreement because he was up here attacking Yankee whaling ships. This is the little bus that Sean Penn did a movie about. People, 150 young kids, make a pilgrimage out to this bus. It still sits there. It's kind of a dangerous trek. And unfortunately, this is an example of going out into a wilderness unprepared. And then this little guy is a beluga whale, one of my favorites. A little white whale, you might not know. It's the only whale that has a neck. It can actually turn its head. But when it sleeps, this half of its body sleeps and this half of its body swims. So these are things you might not have known about Alaska. In November 30th, that's what you call an epicenter. Isn't that exact? You can actually see the epicenter. That's a road by my house. I don't know what it was about this earthquake. It didn't harm any people, but it did not like liquor. Every bar, every liquor store, for some reason, they said all the bottles were just falling off the shelves. Which liquor didn't fall and break? Somebody want to win a prize? No, Crown Royal, it was in a box. Who misses their set up here. But I figured if you miss your dog, if you see the dogs here, you'll remember you're missing your little dog. This is part of the dog parade up in Talkeetna. They are looking for things to do in these small towns. My lovely wife Nene took that shot. But the dogs in Alaska are athletes. The dogs that run the Iditarod are not pets. They are trained athletes. 1,600 dogs take off from Anchorage and travel 1,100 miles in the winter on what's called the Iditarod Trail. It is a fabulous race, and I'm going to have Hobo Jim start us out with a little more, another song. So come on, let's get it. I'm going to teach you the words of this song.
In Alaska, the state that stands alone, there's a dog race runs like a J-Lo. And it's a curving race with a lightning pace when trailers do well.
Uh-oh, we got the Iditarod dance going on back here. Come on, sweetie, do the Iditarod dance for me. Come on up here.
So fine, and like you race those miles to know what.
Come on, let's do the Iditarod dance. Ready?
When I'll get out.
Story. You're going to have to come back up and sing here in a minute. I'm going to teach you all this song. Isn't that going to be fun? Come on. Everybody all together now. Aww. 1,049 miles across the state of Alaska. Well, believe it or not, kids, it's about time. We're almost at the end of my trail. Now, if you've seen the beautiful Alaskan flag, with 8 stars of gold on a beautiful blue, it was designed by a little orphan boy named Benny Benson in 1927. They had a contest in all the Alaskan schools, and 700 kids sent in entries, and they all had a little survey or a little essay that went with it. Marie Drake set it to a poem, and Eleanor Dersenberg turned it into a song. So sing along with me. 8 stars of gold on a field of blue, Alaska's flag may be to you. Blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes and the flowers nearby. Gold of the early sourdough streams, the precious gold in the fields and streams, the brilliant stars in northern sky, the Bear, the Dipper are shining high. The great North Star with its stellar light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright. Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear. Everybody, a simple flag for the last frontier. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I'm not going to make any promises, but we might be cutting an album today. Well, I'm going to share with you. I have another little musical number for us to do, but I'm going to pause for a moment here, and it's right on schedule. And let's do this. Let's take some questions.